Guys, as preppers, we put back a lot of things. We train a lot. We do a lot of research. We watch events that are happening around the world or even just here in the U.S. And we prepare for such emergencies that can happen. And guys, it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of time and a lot of space. But there are times where we wonder, is anything really going to happen? Is what I'm doing just an exercise in futility? I remember Y2K. Everybody got all worked up and then nothing happened. In 2008, we had a major financial collapse and people thought it was the end of the world. I started my YouTube channel in 2008, and guys, people on YouTube were saying that if you haven't gotten your food prepped, if you aren't ready, then it's just too late. And here we are, 2024. And then there have been other events that have happened that have led us to really worrying about things that are going on, and then nothing really happens. We're going to talk today about 15 reasons why you should prep, even if SHTF never occurs. I've touched on this a few times before, but I happen to be on the Urban Survival site. It's a great place that has a lot of information, and I do a lot of research for my personal preps there, things that I'm working on. And I came across this article, so I wanted to share it with you guys because it really has a lot of validity. But it'll also keep you inspired and motivated to prep even when things seem to be going good, because that seems to be a cycle. We get all worked up when events happen, we go out and buy a bunch of food, we're working on things, and then everything just kind of peters out and we kind of lose interest for a while. So this hopefully will give you some motivation to be able to continue on. First off is natural disasters. They happen on a regular basis, and being a prepper, you're very well prepared for whatever happens. You have your food and water, but you also have tools and you have equipment to keep the house going, maybe generators and fuel for your lanterns or whatever. You've got some supplies ready to go. And two, you typically have a plan. And each area has vulnerabilities for natural disasters. And so wherever area you are, you're more heavily invested in those preps. So when things happen, you've got the supplies, the know-how, and the training and a plan to be able to take care of things. Personal job loss. Guys, I always say that SHTF doesn't have to affect the world. It can be a personal SHTF, an everyday SHTF. If you lose your job, you're going to be tight on the budget. Hopefully you have some money saved. Of course, unemployment is typically not enough. So one great thing about having preps is you can actually eat the food on your preps and cut out a lot of your grocery bill. This will just save you money over time. Yes, it takes some of your supplies from your preps, but you can restock when you get a job. And that'll allow you to have some time. It'll also save you on gas because you have more things around the house to keep you going than having to run to the store every 5 minutes. And so it gives you some time and it buys you time. And real close to that is number 3, and that's financial emergencies. We have those all the time in our lives. You have an unexpected tax bill, or the insurance payment comes up and you've spent money, or you need new tires, or things happen. And so having a lot of preps, again, just like in a job loss, it allows you to use that in the meantime while you're going through a difficult situation. Number 4 is it saves you money. Right now, during a time of major inflation, grocery prices have gone up 40%. And a lot of the preps that we bought at a much cheaper price. And so we can have that and then get through a time of inflation to be able to eat and have more food and cut down on the grocery bill and to keep our budget in line. And sometimes we have transportation disruptions. And sometimes that means that we don't have the supplies that we need around the house. And so we can use those supplies instead of going out and buying something if we haven't ever prepped. And so it just gives us the opportunity to be able to use our preps. Having a go bag in your car, when you're traveling, you're out on the road, there have been a number of times where I have used items that were in my car for emergencies, that were just everyday emergencies. I've used paracord a number of times. I've used maps, our maps. My GPS went out one time. I did a video about this, about me going through a personal SHTF. And because I had my go bag in the car, it just helped me get through the day. It was funny, the other day we were at the shooting range, we were filming, and we had a rainstorm that was unexpected come up. We had all of our cameras out on the range. We had all of our gear. I had a tarp in the back of the Hummer. I pulled it out, put it over the items. The rain passed, we pulled it off. If I hadn't had that tarp in the back, we would have had to put everything back. It would have been all soaked. And so it was just a great way, and one of those times where it's just great to have items handy in your vehicle. Having a multi-tool in your car, having a flashlight, those kind of things really can help you to get through a tough situation. And very similar to that is just having car emergencies, keeping tools and different items in your car in case you have a breakdown. Maybe even knowing some things about how to repair your car. Keeping your car maintained is part of being prepared. And so you want to make sure that the car is in good working order, so that's going to save you from being on the side of the road. But having your tools, having an emergency flare, having a vest to put on, a number of things that you have which should be your emergency car kit. It's different than a go bag, and yet you have all these tools in there to be able to take care of an issue if you have one. One thing too is making sure that you have a jack stand in your car, that you can, if you have a flat tire, you can change it. Making sure your tires are in order, especially the spare. We've had that problem before where we had a flat tire, we went to get the spare, it was flat. Everyday violence, home invasion, break-in, attacks on the street. You're better prepared. You have situational awareness, you're looking around, you're thinking about things. You hopefully have a concealed carry permit, or if you live in a constitutional carry state, you're able to defend yourself and your family. And because you're a prepper, you put a lot of emphasis on being able to protect your family. And so that way you have security measures around your house. You're able to pick up things. I mean, that's one thing that we have is a lot of cameras. We have motion detector lights. We have driveway alarms, a number of different things that just help with security. And a lot of that has to do because we're preppers and because we see that it could get a lot worse, and we want to make sure that we're well prepared. But everyday violence, you're going to be better prepared because you're a prepper. Hopefully you've taken some training classes and you're practicing with your firearm as well. House fires, they happen all the time in the U.S., and really being prepared for a house fire. Having a plan, number one, having a place that all of your family meets, a specific location, so that nobody is behind the house, you're in front of the house, and you don't know where everybody is. And having different items, a ladder if you have a second story window that you can just roll out, one of those roll-up ladders. Having fire extinguishers, different items to be able to get you through a house fire. While a lot of people do have items for house fires, being a prepper, you tend to be more equipped. Power outages. Obviously, power outages can be a problem with anyone. We can have issues, and of course, with more and more people moving into certain areas, the infrastructure is suffering. I mean, our power grid is at its peak right now here in South Carolina, and people keep moving in. So we're already looking for brownouts and blackouts that could be coming. So having the supplies for a power outage, going ahead and getting that generator, whether it's a home generator or just a small portable generator, a solar generator, having lighting options that are solar or rechargeable batteries that you can recharge through solar. Having just the basic items for a power outage, and because you're a prepper, you've put a lot of thought into it, you have a plan, and you put things together. It's just going to make you better prepared. Medical emergencies. One of the things about a prepper is we're not necessarily counting on emergency medical to be able to get to us in time, if at all. And so having a lot of medical gear, having trauma kits, not only that, knowing how to use them, taking classes, and putting a lot of emphasis on training. But if you have the gear and the things you need in a medical emergency, your chances are going to be a heck of a lot better than running around in a panic. And it gives you the ability to take care of things until you can get professional help. Staying in shape. If you're a prepper and you're really serious, you're trying to get yourself in physical good shape. If you're not, you need to be. And it's one of the things for me is our family, we work out, we do things. I take martial arts to keep me really in shape and to keep me on the self-defense level. But keeping yourself in good shape, getting out and walking, going on hikes, doing things with your bags, doing a lot of testing, it gets you in shape to get out of the house, get out from in front of a computer or a desk and start to get physical. And I think that's one of the things about prepping that it does. It keeps you active. A lot of times we live, a very settled life. And the older we get, the more we get that way. Instead of sitting in front of the TV all the time, we're working on different items. And two, it gives us more mental awareness. It keeps us engaged. So stay in shape, and if you're not in shape, get in shape. And that's good for everyday life. Relationships. If you're working together in a prepper group, you're going to build a family relationship. Our prepper group, we miss each other when we have to skip a meeting. We have a really good time. We work to build relationships, even over skill, which helps us to come together. You really need to have a good bond in a prepper group or whoever you're working with, and getting to know people in the prepping community. One of the things I've learned over the years is that preppers tend to be really good, solid people. They're concerned about the future, they're concerned about their families, and they really are concerned about our country. And they're typically just good, solid people. And it's great to have relationships with them, whether there's a disaster or not. Improve self-esteem. Guys, when something goes wrong, you know that you've done your part to do as much as you can for that situation. And you're very prepared, and you're ready to go. You've learned a lot, you've studied, you've put preps together, whether it's food, water, your medical, all the different things you need. You have your self-defense set up to where if somebody breaks into your house in a home invasion, or you're attacked on the street, again, going back to just self-defense, you're able and you have the mindset to be able to deal with it. And that's one of the big things, is having a good mindset. If things start to happen, you need to stay calm, you need to work through them. Well, sometimes in just everyday life, we have things that happen, just small emergencies, and it's good to keep calm and to go, this isn't SHTF, but I can handle this situation because of my training, because of my preparation and my planning. And last but not least is peace of mind. Don't be scared, be prepared. That's what my good friend Southern Prepper 1 always says, and it's true. Because I am prepared, because I have food put back, because I have provided for my family in case of an emergency, I feel more peace. One of the things about preppers, a lot of times people kind of claim that they're just living on the edge and they're scared to death, and that's why they prep. That's the exact opposite. We prep to have peace of mind. We prep in case of an emergency. When things go wrong, we are more calm and at peace. When COVID hit, I stood there and I thought, you know what? Things might get rough, but we can make it. We have things put back and we're going to be fine, even in a lockdown situation. And honestly, that's just a situation that happens, and it could happen again, and so we're much better prepared. Thank goodness we got through it without really destroying our preps, except for toilet paper. But having the toilet paper put back was just a smart move, and it again gave us peace of mind. And so really, as far as prepping, and the number one benefit would be peace of mind. Now, I have a link down below in the description to the Urban Survival site, because I just want to give them credit for really kind of formulating this plan. That's an excellent resource, and it does a lot with beginners. And again, I use that site quite a bit. And you need to have those go-to sites, and you need to be learning and training, whether it's for SHTF or it's a personal SHTF, because life happens. Guys, when it comes to fire, it is essential to survival, and having a good fire kit and knowing how to use it is vital for survival situations. And Exotac makes the best fire starters on the market. Made in the USA, down in Winder, Georgia. Using really high-grade aluminum, they machine some really beautiful handles, a lot of different features, replaceable ferro rods, and a number of other different fire starting tools. You get 20% off using Sootch 20 with a link down below in the description. And a big thank you to Exotac for sponsoring today's video. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Money over time. Yes, it takes some of your supplies from your preps, but you can restock when you get prepare yourself for the unknown, for a predictable future. It's not predictable.